am Miss Strickland. What's your name?
Miss Giddens.
Miss who?
Giddens.
Giddens. How you doing, Miss Giddens? Nice to meet you. Before we get started on anything further with counseling, I want to read this consent and disclosure statement. When we're finished, you can agree or you can, decline. Okay. It said it is my desire to be completely clear regarding the form and content of counseling relationship. It is for this reason that I provide the enclosed contract. This contract is an attempt to ensure that you and myself are in agreement regarding the purpose of service rendered. Please carefully consider the terms of this contract and feel free to discuss any of these agreements with me. You and I want to mutually revise, add by any portion. I am Miss Latavia Strickland, MED in psychology and counseling at the University of Houston Baptist. I am licensed as a licensed school psychologist by the state of Texas. I'm also a clinical member of the American Association of Licensed School Psychologists. I have 5 years of experience in providing family and individual couples therapy. To score or interpret various assessments in order to plan and select the most effective treatments. I will thoroughly discuss with you and your family and help assess objectives and identify goals to be achieved during the counseling process. I also will discuss with you and your family and describe in detail and give you rationales for intervention techniques that I think can assist you in meeting your objectives. I will gladly discuss with you the anticipated benefits as well as the possible undesirable effects that may come with counseling. Seeking to resolve issues between family members, marital problems, and other people can lead to satisfaction or discomfort, as well as relationship changes that may not be originally intended. I will ask you and your family to do assignments during and or between sessions. I will also do my best ability to monitor. I will offer intervention strategies that are clinically sound. I will monitor our progress each session, discuss and make revisions and interventions when needed, and periodically summarize progress in order to continue. Your role as the client, you will agree to at least two initial sessions in the therapist's office. The first session is an intake session, and the second is an assessment session. Second, to agree to complete all assessment and forms and interviews. Third, because of the demand of counseling service and need to maintain regular, I encourage to maintain regular sessions to strengthen treatment success. If I miss 3 appointments without first telling my therapist, I may lose future appointments. You may use future appointments. You agree to secure child care for your children during appointments unless the therapist specifically asks me to bring my children. You have the right to ask any questions about procedures during at any point of the therapy. You also can agree to accurately complete assignments and to bring these with you the next few sessions. You understand that the effectiveness and evaluation of therapy depends upon the completion of these assignments. Lastly, upon completion of the therapy, you agree to participate in a follow-up assessment if requested, and also you agree to at least participate by telephone. Any information, this is the confidentiality and termination. Any information regarding your identity stemming from sessions with therapists will remain strictly confidential. Unless you give written permission to the contrary. Certain situations exist which requires the therapist by law to reveal information obtained during therapy and other responses or agency without permission. Also, the therapist is required to inform you of his actions in this regard. From code of ethics, non-foul and variable for each prospective client, are codes of ethics to which I subscribe by virtue of my personal ethics and familiarity. If you feel you have a grievance against me which cannot or should not be resolved directly, you should or may want to contact both the following agencies, which is American Association for Marriage and Therapy or American Association for Licensed School Psychologists. I just make it up. So. And then the fees, I understand that you understand that myself, Latavia Strickland, operates on a sliding scale of fee structure. Do you, if you have read the above and you understand, do you agree?
I agree.
Well, hello, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm beautiful. So what brings you in today?
Oh, well, just actually kind of wanted to sit down and speak with someone about, things that I'm going through, things that's on my mind, like internal things that I'm going through that it's, that I can't talk to anyone else about.
I understand. So what I'm hearing is that you want someone else to confide in other than the other people that you usually talking to.
Correct. Like when you try to go to your family members or your friends, sometimes they can be real judgmental about the things that, you may be going through. They can just be pretty judgmental. So I feel like it's, I need another person's perspective on the things that I'm going through. Somebody that can see both sides of the story and just not be one-sided about it. If that makes sense.
It does. So it sounds like, and I want to be clear that this is a judgment-free zone. I would never judge you in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This is completely a safe zone. So it sounds like you've been judged quite often in your past about different things. Do you want to discuss those different things? Like, do you mind elaborating on what things you feel as though they're judging you
on? Things like, I would say probably like my life decisions, I guess. Sometimes I've always held back on the things that I wanted to do because I always feel the need to, ask someone their opinion, like family, like my mom or someone, someone close to me that I feel like I can confide in. How can I put this?
Take your time. Again, this is a judgment-free zone.
Yeah, so I mean, so basically, I was feeling the need, like when I'm trying to make like, a big life decision for myself or whatever, I always feel the need to confide in someone, try to confide in somebody close to me. And I always end up, kind of basing my decisions off of the things that other people may tell me, instead of, how the way that I feel about things. So, yeah, that's where I'm kind of at. Just kind of, just kind of stuck trying to figure out what I need to do in life. Just how to press forward without always needing to feel the validation of others. Instead of just going with my gut feelings on things. What do you think about that?
Well, I do think that you're not wrong for feeling the way that you feel. However, what I'm hearing is, you've sought validation from others so much that it's become something that you do consciously.
Right.
You do it without
even knowing that you're doing it, but you just continue to do it. So my question to you would be, is why? How does it make you feel if you make a decision based off something that you want and then you go ask and they say something completely different? How does it make you feel?
It really don't make me feel any kind of way, because I mean, at the end of the day, I basically, kind of end up making my own decision. It's just, the need to feel the need to always, confide in someone else about decisions that I need to make in life. Like, and I feel like that's, part of the reason why I've, probably been held back from a lot of things, just been kind of hesitant or afraid to do certain things. Because, like, when I think about the things that I want to do, it's kind of like out of the ordinary. So people, may tell me things like, that's crazy, or...
So you feel a lack of support?
Right. I do definitely feel a lack of support on the things that, the things that I want to do in life. Correct.
I can honestly say I know how you feel with that. And, I know I'm a counselor and you're coming here, but, I'm human too. And, I do go through things as well. And, there's been times where, I've sought validation. But I feel like, the decision from now on is yours, more so to say. And honestly, I wouldn't say to just make a complete total life change. No. Everything takes practice. But we're going to start with the exercise. And I also have a couple of groups that I want to refer you to. And it's called Stepping Out on Faith. In another group called Taking Risks. And they practice real life situations, but you choose your answer. So you can't ask nobody. You can't hurry up and text somebody. It's putting you in real life situations where you have to make a choice. Not life or death, no. It's just more so like, if I have 2 dishes in front of me, which one do I want to eat? I know I want this one, but I kind of want this one. You can't lean over and be like, hey, which one should I eat? It's more so like, your choice, your decision. We all taking risks. And then afterwards, they have like a circle. They come together and they describe how they felt, or like the amount of power that they felt in the ending by making their own decision choices. So, before we end this meeting, I just want, like, going forward, I want you to practice making your own decisions. Don't ask nobody in your family. Like, I'm not telling you don't ask, but try not to. Let's try to refrain from asking, and let's try more so doing. So let's start. Give me one thing that's been weighing on your mind, and I want you to make a choice. And you can't ask me.
But you want me to tell you one thing that's
if you would like to,
weighing on my mind, that I want to, like, something that I want to do?
Mm-hmm. If you don't want to share, that's fine. We can save it for the next session.
Yeah, something that's been weighing on my mind is just, the decision to move to another state.
Okay. So it sounds like you're torn between the two. Now what I want you to do is close your eyes. Breathe in and out. And separate the two. What is drawing you to Atlanta? and what is drawing you to stay? You don't have to answer, but I want you to first separate what's drawing you to Atlanta, your big why. And then second, I want you to tell me what's drawing you to stay where you are. I don't want you to tell me right now. I want you to think about it. Breathe in and out again. Release it. Now open your eyes. So, next session, I would like for you to tell me your why. So, I noticed that you were, like looking off or, laughing, which, I'm not opposed to laughing, but I feel like there may be something deeper. Would you like to discuss further about what's really nagging at you?
I mean, well, the laughter is not like I'm just laughing in a sense of it being funny. Sometimes I use laughter as a coping mechanism. Like they say, sometimes, laughter is good for the soul, better to laugh than to cry. Sometimes you just gotta laugh things off. But, going back to what I was saying, like at the end of the day, it's my decision because, it's mostly family. That's really the only thing that's holding me back because I have all my family back home and I'm trying to make the decision whether or not I want to, move out of state to further my career, like and things that I want to do because, I'm at an age where I'm not getting any younger. I am getting older, so. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to do some things different. So when I try to speak to the close people about it, they probably feel like my decisions kind of be off the wall or, they're not rational, the decisions that I'm, trying to make, that I don't make rational decisions, things like that. When I feel, totally fine about the decisions that I'm trying to make. So, I just be trying to balance the two, and think about, well, do I want to move somewhere totally different where I don't know anyone and have to learn everything and everybody over versus staying back in my comfort zone where I know everyone and just kind of being in a stagnant place. So, people don't really kind of grasp the idea of me wanting to move away somewhere different and, do something different.
And I completely understand. So what I hear you saying is a lot of decisions that you make, you feel as though they're not supported or people has everything to say about your decisions that you are making for you.
Correct.
So I wonder how others would feel as if you were to start moving how you wanted to move on your own terms without asking. Do you think they would still feel the same?
What do you mean? Feel the same about what?
Well, you're feeling that they're judgmental or, having comments or rebuttals on how you feel or the decisions that you make. However, what I'm asking you is, do you think there'll still be some backlash, even if you were to make decisions on your own and not ask anyone?
Right. Yeah, there would most definitely still be backlash. There'd be some backlash here. There'd be some supporters there. So, I'm sure it would be, a mix of both. But, at the end of the day, as long as taking care of what I need to take care of. I mean, can nobody do nothing but respect my decisions.
I agree. Okay. Well, so I noticed that you were, like looking off or, laughing, which, I'm not opposed to laughing, but I feel like there may be something deeper. Would you like to discuss further about what's really nagging at you?
I mean, well, the laughter is not like I'm just laughing in a sense of it being funny. Sometimes I use laughter as a coping mechanism. Like they say, sometimes, laughter is good for the soul, better to laugh than to cry. Sometimes you just gotta laugh things off. But, going back to what I was saying, like at the end of the day, it's my decision because, it's mostly family. That's really the only thing that's holding me back because I have all my family back home and, and I'm trying to make the decision whether or not I want to, move out of state to further my career, like and things that I want to do because, I'm at an age where I'm not getting any younger. I am getting older, so I'm just trying to, I'm trying to do some things different. So when I try to speak to the close people about it, they probably feel like my decisions kind of be off the wall or, they're not rational, the decisions that I'm, trying to make, that I don't make rational decisions, things like that. When I feel, totally fine about the decisions that I'm trying to make. So, I just be trying to balance the two, and think about, well, do I want to move somewhere totally different where I don't know anyone and have to learn everything and everybody over versus staying back in my comfort zone where I know everyone and just kind of being in a stagnant place. So, people don't really kind of grasp the idea of me wanting to move away somewhere different and do something different.
And I completely understand. So what I hear you saying is a lot of decisions that you make, you feel as though they're not supported or people has everything to say about your decisions that you are making for you.
Correct.
So I wonder how others would feel as if you were to start moving how you wanted to move on your own terms without asking. Do you think they would still feel the same?
Feel what do you mean? Feel the same about what?
Well, you're feeling that they're judgmental or, having comments or rebuttals on how you feel or what the decisions that you make. However, what I'm asking you is, do you think there'll still be some backlash, even if you were to make decisions on your own and not ask anyone?
Right. Yeah, there would most definitely still be backlash. There'd be some backlash here. There'd be some supporters there. So, I'm sure it would be, a mix of both. But, at the end of the day, as long as taking care of what I need to take care of, I mean, can nobody do nothing but respect my decisions.
I agree. Okay. Well, so Tyra, tell me how everything's been going.
Well, with the death of my boyfriend and school, work, and my personal life, I just feel like everything is just a lot of pressure on me, and I just don't know how to handle it all.
So what I'm hearing is the recent death of your boyfriend has put a lot of pressure on you as well as other things. Do you mind talking to me a little bit more about what happened with the death of your boyfriend?
So we were celebrating our anniversary, and we went out for dinner, and he's been having conflicts and issues with other people around the neighborhood and stuff, and we ran into some of those people while we were out, and as we were walking back to the car and he was letting me in, someone shot him in front of me, and it's been hard to deal with.
So what I'm hearing you say is you experienced a really bad, really traumatic event with the death of your boyfriend, and as a result, it has caused you with other things to be in a depressive state or feeling as if you don't want to live anymore.
Exactly. Like, I didn't want to say that I was depressed, and I didn't want to express that or own up to that I've been suicidal, but yes, losing the love of my life like that, I just don't know if I can live anymore, if I want to live, because am I going to find love like that again? People are always asking me if I'm okay. Of course I'm not okay. Like, that's something that I'm living with every day, and I don't know if I want to do that anymore. Not without him.
In that present moment, do you remember how you felt when the situation was taking place?
I was in complete, utter shock. I was scared because I didn't know if they were going to retaliate on me as well. I was also angry, and I just was completely overwhelmed with what was really, it was really happening. Like, that really happened. That really just happened. I didn't know what to do. Shaking and trembling. I was, yeah.
So it sounds like that event brought anger. It was making you afraid. You're reliving the situation over and over again. So I wonder, do you think that, I'm sorry about that. Do you feel as if those feelings in that event has caused everything else in your life to seem like it's going downhill as well?
Yes. I don't want to hang out with my friends anymore. I just want to stay at home, go to work. When I'm at work, I'm just there. Used to love my job and be excited about it, but I don't even want to be there anymore. I just want to be at home by myself. I don't want to be surrounded by people, any of that.
So it sounds like, or what I'm really hearing is that because this event has taken a toll on you, it has caused you to completely avoid everything else and everyone who truly does care for you, who's trying to be there for you. So I wonder if you were to, gradually talk to them, do you think you would be able to somewhat be open?
Eventually, but as of right now, I don't think anyone understands what I'm dealing with.
And you have every right to feel that way. Being that this is a really deep conversation, I would like to just go off the record and say, if you are feeling suicidal, I am obligated to let someone know. Because you are of age, I still want to make sure that your well-being is okay. So could we do weekly calls, at least 2 or 3 times a week, just for the first month until you feel you can talk to someone else?
I think that will
Okay.
help.
Good. We will reconvene because being that this situation is very touchy, I don't want to pry any further. I do appreciate you for coming. Thank you. I'm sorry that all this has happened to you. That's really tragic, and that is a very traumatic event that I wouldn't want anybody to have to live through and relive again. So we're gonna rejoin next week and talk more about it. Is that okay with you? Okay. Thank you. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
What brings you in today?
So I have been, it's been really hard lately, a lot going on at home. And I don't know to come up with.
Keep going, it's okay.
Yeah, I guess it's really hard for me to share because this so there's an incident that happened, but it happened a long time ago, and I just haven't shared it with anyone.
So what I'm hearing is you're maybe feeling a little bit uncomfortable with, even being able to talk to me, as well as there was a situation that has encountered that has allowed you to be in the space that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me how the situation makes you feel?
Yeah. So I think sometimes I just worry too much about how my life is going to be affected by how I continue to just develop, and I'm like, I'm kind of scared of the person I'm going to become.
So it seems to me that you're worried about your potential, which I can already see you're a fine young lady, just for affirmation. However, I do understand where you're coming from about those barriers of like who you are versus who you're becoming. So it seems like you're headed in the right direction, just as well as could you tell me in what ways do you feel it's making you feel that way, about worried about becoming who you are?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I have just come to a point where I guess I'm realizing that I'm in school and I'm just learning a lot, and I guess it's just making me think more about what I'm learning in class and how to put it in practice. And that can also be stressful because it's like, I don't know if I'm gonna actually be able to do it. And so I think part of that stress kind of feels like it's hanging over me sometimes. And then trying to do other things like family, like not neglecting family, you know, and then also with work and how that's going to balance out, kind of not feeling guilty of not paying attention to those around me and missing out on like the present. So I think there's like various factors. That's a lot of
So it seems like those factors are weighing heavy, you know, with your family and then classes and working full time. In the moment, can you tell me what makes you go into thinking or worrying about those factors as such as, you know, neglecting your family? Like, what triggers you into feeling that way?
Yeah, I think it's like, it's hard to explain because, so, you know, I guess when I'm in class and I'm learning and I realize like, oh, I was actually raised in a way that wasn't really right, you know, according to like what we're learning and stuff. And so it is confronting because it's making me realize like, oh, I'm actually someone that like needs counseling, you know, because like we all have something that we can work on, and so yeah.
Definitely, I understand, and I have been in issues. I've been a client, you know. I've sat in counseling, and I'm like, I have all these issues, you know. So help me, you know. So I went to counseling thinking I could get help, but at the same time, it had to be more of a self journey. So, you know, like I feel like